everyone. I'm Dr. Ekta Bhushan, teaching anatomy and physiology of exercise at Indira Gandhi Institute of Physical Education and Sports Sciences, University of Delhi. I welcome you all to online lectures of CEC-UGC. In this series, we will discuss different topics associated with anatomy and physiology of exercise. But today in particular, we will discuss the topic endocrine system. So the human body and human endocrine system is a messenger system that regulates distant target organs through feedback loops of hormones released by the internal glands of an organism directly into the circulatory system. In vertebrates, the hypothalamus is the neural control nodes for all the endocrine system. The endocrine system is a system of glands and organs that is located all around the body. It functions similarly to the nervous system in that it controls the regulates all of the body's function. Although the nervous system communicates through the nerve impulses and the neurotransmitters, the endocrine system communicates through chemical messengers known as hormones. The thyroid gland and the adrenal glands are the two main endocrine glands in humans. The study of endocrine system and its disorders is known as endocrinology. Endocrinology is a specialty of internal medicines. So your endocrine system is made up of several organs called glands. These glands located all over the body create and secretes hormones. Hormones are chemicals that coordinate different functions in your body by carrying messages through your blood to your organs, skin, muscles and other tissues. These signals tells you body what to do and when to do it. So now let's see how does it work. So your endocrine system continuously monitors the amount of hormones in your blood. Hormones deliver their messages by locking into the cells they target so they can rely on messages. The pituitary gland senses when your hormone level rises and tells other gland to stop producing and releasing hormones. When hormone level dip below a certain point, the pituitary gland can instruct the gland to produce and release more. This process called homeostasis works similarly to the thermostat in your house. So hormones affect nearly every process in your body including these. So the endocrine system is in control of the following bodily function, that is metabolic rate, development and growth of a human being, reproduction and sexual functions, heart rate, blood pressure, appetite, that is the need to eat, control cycles of sleep and wake up, and controls the temperature of the body. So sometimes glands produce too much or not enough of hormones. This imbalance can cause health problems such as weight gain, high blood pressure and changes in sleep, mood and behavior. Many things can affect how your body creates and releases hormones. Illness, stress and certain medications can cause a hormone imbalance. So what are the parts of endocrine system? Endocrine system is made up of organs called glands. Glands produce and release different hormones that target specific things in the body. You have glands all over your body, including your neck, brain, and reproductive organs. Some glands are tiny, about the size of a grain or rice or a pea. The largest gland is the pancreas, which is about 6 inches long. Now, we can see, so the endocrine glands are known as the ductless glands, and because of the fact that their secretions are released directly into the blood, not to any tube or duct. And we have hypothalamus, gonads, pituitary gland, thyroid, pineal body, parathyroid, thymus, adrenal glands, and pancreas. Now we can see the diagram of all the glands in our body. We can see all the glands which are situated in our body. We can see the pituitary gland, parathyroid, thyroid, pancreas, then testicles, ovaries. So all these are an adrenal gland. So all these organs and glands are including in endocrine glands. Let's start with hypothalamus gland. So hypothalamus gland releases, these are the hormones which release, and these are the functions of hypothalamus gland. You can see the position of hypothalamus gland. The first hormone is corticotropin hormone, that is CRH, and the function is stimulates the pituitary to release adrenocorticotropin hormones. And then there is a GnRH hormone, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. Its function is stimulates the pituitary to release the luteinizing hormone, that is LH, and follicle stimulating hormone. Then third hormone which released by hypothalamus is thyrotropin releasing hormone, stimulates the pituitary gland to release thyroid stimulating hormones. Okay, then the corticotropin release hormone stimulates the pituitary to release adrenocorticotropin hormone. Then growth hormone releasing hormones stimulates the release of growth hormones from the pituitary gland. Then somatostatin inhibits the release of GH from the pituitary. Then dopamine inhibits the release of prolactin from the pituitary gland. So the hypothalamus is a small region located within the brain that controls many bodily functions, including eating and drinking, sexual functions and behaviors, blood pressure and heart rate, body temperature maintenance, and the sleep-wake-up cycle, and emotional stress, for example, fear, pain, anger, and pleasure. So hypothalamic hormones plays a pivotal role in the regulation of many of those functions, because the hypothalamus is part of the central nervous system. The hypothalamus hormones actually are produced by nerve cells, examples neurons. In addition, because signals from other neurons can modulate the release of hypothalamus hormones, the hypothalamus serves as the major link between the nervous and the endocrine system. Now we'll learn about the pituitary gland. You can see the location of the pituitary gland. It divides into the anterior pituitary glands and the posterior pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland, also known as the hypophysis, it is a pea-sized endocrine gland situated at the base of our brain. It is often referred to as master gland because it produces some of the important hormones in the body. It is situated in a bony structure called pituitary fossa just below the hypothalamus, close to the optic nerve. The pituitary gland is divided into three parts, also called lobes: anterior, intermediate pituitary and posterior, but intermediate pituitary absent in adult human beings. So we'll learn about the anterior pituitary gland. So anterior pituitary gland release the hormone called adrenocorticotropin hormone, that is ACTH. It stimulates the release of hormones from the adrenal cortex. Then the luteinizing hormone, that is LH, in women stimulates the production of sex hormones, example estrogen, in the ovaries as well as during ovulation. In men, stimulate testosterone production in the testes. Then ACTH stimulates the release of the form of adrenal cortex, and then FSH in women stimulates follicle development, in the men stimulates sperm production. Then TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, stimulates the release of thyroid hormone. Then GH, that is growth hormone, promotes the body's growth and development. Then prolactin controls production of milk, that is lactation. Then vasopressin helps control the body's water and electrolyte levels. The last one is oxytocin, promotes the uterine contraction during labor and activates milk ejection in nursing women. Now, adrenal cortex. So, adrenal cortex releases, these are the glands which are situated on the top of the kidneys, we can see, and it releases cortisol, helps control carbohydrate, protein and lipid metabolism, protects against stress. The next hormone which is released by adrenal cortex is aldosterone, helps control the body's water and electrolyte regulation. So the adrenal glands are small structures located on the top of the kidneys. Structurally, they consist of an outer layer, that is the cortex, and the inner layer, that is medulla. So the adrenal cortex produces numerous hormones, primarily corticosteroid, and the cortex is also the source of small amount of sex hormones. Those amounts, however, are insignificant compared with the amount of normally produced by the ovaries and testes. The adrenal medulla generates two substances, adrenaline and non-adrenaline, that are released as part of the fight or flight response to various stress factors. Now, the next hormones which we are going to study is thyroid gland. So, you can see the situation of thyroid gland in the picture also. It releases thyroid hormone, that is T4, controls metabolic process in all cells. Then calcitonin helps calcium metabolism, which lowers calcium level in the blood. Then the thyroid gland, which consists of two lobes, is located in front of the windpipe, just below the voice box. The gland produces two structurally related hormones, that is thyroxine, that is T4, and tridrolin, that is T3, are the iodinated derivatives of the amino acids tyrosine. Both hormones are collectively referred to as thyroid hormones. T4 constitutes approximately 90% of the hormones produced in the thyroid gland. However, T3 is a much more active hormone, and most of the T4 produced by the thyroid is converted into T3 in the liver and kidney. So, the next hormone is parathyroid gland. You can see the picture. It releases the hormone, parathyroid hormone, that is PTH, helps control calcium metabolism. With example, increases calcium level in the blood. So the parathyroid glands are 4 pea-sized bodies located behind the thyroid gland that produces PTH. This hormone increases calcium level in the blood, helping to maintain bone quality and adequate supply of calcium, which need for numerous functions throughout the body. Especially PTH causes reabsorption of calcium from an excretion of phosphate in the urine. PTH also promotes the release of stored calcium from the bones as well as from the reabsorption, both of which increases calcium levels in the blood. Now the next hormone is pancreas. Pancreas releases insulin hormone which helps control carbohydrate metabolism, for example lowers blood sugar level. Then glucagon helps control carbohydrate metabolism, it increases blood sugar level. So the pancreas is located in the abdomen behind the stomach and serves two distinctly different functions. First, it acts as an exocrine organ because the majority of pancreatic cells produces various digestive enzymes that are secreted into the gut and which are essential for the effective digestion of food. Second, the pancreas serves as endocrine organ because certain cells cluster produces hormones that is insulin and glucagon that are released into the blood and play pivotal role in the blood glucose regulation. The next hormone is gonads hormone. It includes both the male and female hormone glands. In male that is testes and female that is ovaries. So ovaries releases estrogen produced by the follicles, stimulates development of the female reproductive hormone. Then progesterone hormone prepare uterus for pregnancy and mammary glands of lactation. So the gonads, the ovaries and testes serve two major functions. First, they produce the germ cells and the second, the gonads synthesizes steroid sex hormones that are necessary for the development and function of both female and male reproductive organs and secondary sex characteristics. The adult distributes of body hair such as facial hairs in men, as well as for the pregnancy, childbirth and lactation. Three types of sex hormones exist, each with different functions. Estrogen, for example, estradiol, which exert feminizing effect. Second one is progesterone, which affect the uterus in preparation for the during pregnancy, and the androgens, that is testosterone, which exert masculinizing effect. In addition to the reproductive functions, sex hormones plays numerous essential roles throughout the body. For example, they affect the metabolism of carbohydrates and lipids, the cardiovascular system and bone growth and development. The next hormone is pineal gland. You can see the situation of the structure of pineal gland and where it is situated. So the pineal gland is located between the two halves of the brain. It was also known as the third eye for most of the history due to its location in the brain and it's connected to the light with the light. So it produces a hormone known as melatonin, which influences the body's internal clock, also known as the circadian rhythm. It influences the body's sleep and wake up cycle. Now, we will discuss about some conditions and disorders affect the endocrine system. The first one is diabetes. This endocrine disorder affects the way your body uses the energy from the food you eat. Diabetes develops when the pancreas doesn't make enough of a hormone called insulin, or insulin doesn't work as it should. The next one is thyroid disorder. Several conditions can affect the functions of the thyroid gland. The hypothyroidism happens when the thyroid doesn't produce enough hormone. Hyperthyroidism occurs when it creates too many hormones. The next one is polycystic ovary syndrome. It is also known as PCOS. Hormone imbalance cause women with PCOS to have irregular periods, abnormal hair growth, excess acne, and weight gain. It can lead to diabetes, increased risk of metabolic syndrome, and infertility. The next disorder is hypogonadism, low testosterone. In men, hypogonadism can cause erectile dysfunction. It can also cause memory and concentration problem, changes in muscle strength, and low sex drive. It happens when the testes do not produce enough of the sex hormone testosterone. Then Cushing disease. This condition is what happens when a pituitary gland produces too many hormones. The end result is an adrenal gland that is overactive. While the symptoms vary, changes in the skin, increasing obesity are two of the common signs of this disease. The next one is Addison's disease. The adrenal gland releases too little of the hormone cortisol and sometimes aldosterone. Symptoms include fatigue, stomach upset, dehydration, and skin changes. Addison's disease is a type of adrenal insufficiency. Now we'll discuss some tips for taking care of your endocrine system. So first tip is eat a balanced diet. First and foremost, the body knows when it's out of balance. It will let you know in the form of fatigue, moodiness, sleep issues, unhealthy amount of weight gain or weight loss, hair loss, focus, and of course, there are other ways it can let you know as well, but relating to your hormones. Those are some of the most common issues. Diet is one of the best way to influence a healthy balance in your lifestyle, because a healthy diet will support your sleep and also support how well you handle your stress. The next tip is skip the junk food. Sugar, alcohol, and even excess caffeine all wreak havoc to the endocrine system. They weaken the blood, liver, and adrenal gland, and as a result can lead to unhealthy hormone function. Sugar and excess caffeine can both cause a spike in insulin, and all processed foods are like putting tar in your body. Don't expect it to use those foods to create healthy hormones. The body needs real fresh food, which is automatically known how to process. Real food is used to be broken down by the body, but junk food products only confused it and your body hormones at the same time. The next one is ditch the dairy products. So dairy is a big no-no for taking care of your hormones, but not just because it comes from the animal source, it also because dairy contains numerous natural hormones that were not meant to be combined with your own hormones. Skip the dairy and go dairy free. Remember, dairy comes from pregnant cows, and we seriously doubt you want any of in your body like those hormones, right? So, the next one is get your rest. No exceptions. Rest is absolutely essential for a healthy endocrine system. Without enough, no hormone in the body will function naturally, and stress, weight gain, and even serious health issues can occur. You know the drill. 7 to 8 hours, no exceptions. So find the right exercise for yourself. Exercise is important to live a healthy life, but choosing the right exercise for you is also key to taking care of your hormones. So did you know high intensity training, through as beneficial in many ways as it may be, can exacerbate stress by raising cortisol levels in certain individuals? Try more relaxing exercises like yoga and walking if you are prone to stress. They may seem boring, but they help lower stress, which evens out your hormones and raises feel good chemicals, especially the amino acids, the GABA one, which relaxes the body, improves stress, and levels out the hormones naturally. Serotonin and dopamine are two important hormones that are influenced by diet and exercise. If a long run or a kickboxing session pumps you up and lowers stress for you, then great. But if it makes you tired and more stressed, then try a better exercise for you that is not as intense. Now we have come to conclusions. The human endocrine system comprises different ductless glands which secretes their chemicals called hormones. For proper control and coordination of the body with the nervous system, the endocrine system is also needed. Different glands of the endocrine system are the pituitary gland, thyroid and parathyroid, thymus, pancreas, liver, adrenal, etc. The pituitary gland is called the master gland, which directs the functioning of the other endocrine glands. I hope you understand all the glands, their hormones and functions of endocrine system, its related diseases and their causes, and how you can improve your endocrine system. That's all for today. See you next time. Thank you.